This is the question asked in today's Skill Track Daily Challenge. So in the first line of our input, we are given the values of R and C. And after that, we are given a R cross C integer matrix, which is M1. And after that, we are given a R cross C character matrix, which is M2. So now, first our task is to sort the characters of this character matrix M2. So after sorting these characters, this is how our sorted character matrix would be looking like. So here we can see that all the characters are sorted. And now using the sorted matrix and the integer matrix M1, we will be finding our output matrix. So the first character in the sorted matrix M2 is B. So the character B, and the first integer in our integer matrix M1 is 66. So now we know two values. So the first integer is 66 and the first character in the sorted matrix is B. Now we have to find the first occurrence of the character B in the input matrix M2. So here we can see that in the second row last column we are able to find the first occurrence of the character B. So the integer 66 must be placed at that position in our output matrix. So in our output matrix, in the second row last column, we have the integer 66. So this is how we should be forming our output matrix. So the second character in the sorted matrix is the character C. And then the second integer in our input matrix M1 is 58. So this integer 58 must be replaced in the first occurrence of the character C in M2. So in the character matrix M2, in the third row, third column, we are able to find the first occurrence of the character C. So in our output matrix, third row, third column, we should have our integer 58. So in our output also we can see that in the third row, third column, we have our integer 58. So this is how we should be finding the position of all the integers. Similarly, for the third character is E, and then the third integer is 42. So this 42 must be replaced at the position of the first occurrence of the character E in the matrix M2. So in the matrix M2, in the first row last column, we have the character E. So in our output matrix, in the first row last column, we should print the integer 42. So this is how we should be forming our output. Now let us see the logic for this. So first we have to accept our input matrix M1 and M2, and then I am going to sort the characters of the M2 and store it in a new character array named sorted M2. So the size of the character array would be R cross C, and we will be creating another integer array named output matrix, in which we will be storing the integers that to be printed in our output. So the name of the integer array is output matrix. So now let us see the logic to solve this problem. First I am creating a new integer named int and I am setting it to 0, and then I am creating a nested for loop. So this nested for loop iterates through all the integers in the integer matrix M1. So in every iteration of this nested loop, I am storing the integer present at the current index of the matrix M1. So I am setting int number is equal to M1 of ij. So we will be storing the integers, and also we need to store the characters from the sorted matrix. So character search is equal to sorted M2 and the character present at index, and in every iteration we will be incrementing the value of index, so index plus plus. And after that I am also creating a flag variable which we will be using to break out of the nested loop. So I am initially setting flag is equal to 0. So now we have to find the current character, that is the character search in our matrix M2. So to do that, again I am creating a nested for loop. So this loop name is I1 and J1. So again this nested I1 J1 loop iterates through all the characters in the matrix M2, and in every iteration we will be checking whether the character present at the index in the matrix M2 is equal to search or not. If it is equal to search, then we should update and then break. So we set flag is equal to 1 and break within this if condition, and then we should also delete the character. So I set M2 of I1 J1 is equal to hyphen, and then we should also store the integer in our output matrix at this particular index. So output matrix of I1 J1 is equal to number. And again, after the execution of the J1 loop, we will be checking whether flag is equal to 1. If flag is equal to 1, then we break. So finally, after the execution of this IJ loop, we have all the integers present in our output matrix. So we have to iterate through our output matrix and print the integers. So that would be our output. So this is the logic to solve today's problem. Thank you for watching.